All right, so one of the things that I struggle with in working with people is, newsflash, a lot of golfers aren't the best athletes, okay? So oftentimes we've got to like rework or re-systematize the way they move. Because if you're not moving like really athletically and efficiently, you've got power leaks, you have more power there. But that's also a positive thing because most people I work with before they make strength gains or power gains necessarily. If I get them to move better, they're going to get stronger and get more powerful because they're going to get in sync with their body and move more athletically. Okay, so a couple of the things that I use that are unconventional to teach that, one is just like a jump rope. Okay, this is an 8-foot rope. It's an RMT rope from WEC Method, but I'm going to get people to just start swinging the rope like this and really get into that rhythm and working the ground force and working on transferring weight. I'll have them swing it underhand this way. And we've talked a little bit about head over foot. Okay, I'm gonna get them to coil their core and line up their head over the foot. So moving and swinging this rope this way, boom, 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 and kind of execute that figure 8 pattern, okay? And there's a lot of footage of me, Instagram, Facebook, working with the rope. Huge part of my program because we can get super creative with this rope and it teaches us to move athletically in rhythm, sequencing our body. And we talked in the last section about how important it is and how most people have more power in them right now if they can just learn to sequence that club correctly. This is a big tool to do that. Because if I can get people, again, swinging a kettlebell correctly, learning how to use the ground and generate force from the ground to swing the kettlebell athletically. And then I can get people, able to swing this rope correctly and be able to have rhythm and have timing. We can see how we rotate through impact using this rope. So hopefully you can see how this is applicable to golf, okay? I can work on weight transfer, weight shift, and general athletic movement. So the rope. Okay, now we talked about coiling core and head over foot. I said we get into more detail. We'll do that now because the coiling core is the foundation upon which rope training exists. So when I locomote, when I move, okay, traditional thought is that the head stays in the middle and we kind of move this way with a stable core. I don't really buy into that, okay? I believe the lats are a source of power in the core that we want to tap into so that rather keeping the core braced or neutral, we want to let the core side bend and coil where the hip goes forward and the shoulder goes down and back so that with each step we take, we are lined up with our head over our foot so that we are in balance. Okay, with a traditional locomotion or running model, our head is not in the center, therefore we are not balanced, okay? I want to be balanced with every step. You say, why are you teaching walking or running when you are trying to get us to hit the ball farther? Okay, because I believe fundamentally with every step we can get stronger and that when we move in this fashion and when we sprint in this fashion, it becomes more rotational. You see, I am rotating the shoulder back. I am coiling that core so that every step I take will be stronger and more powerful. And if every step I take throughout the day is more powerful and stronger, I become more athletic, I move more efficiently. Okay, and just like when I had the rope, I am teaching myself this coiling core training, okay? So that's the head over foot coiling core concept, and the fuel or the engine of the coiling core is the lats. We are coiling the core so that we can tap into our lats, and the lats fuel that locomotion, okay? So WEC method concept, you can look throughout my Instagram on some ways to train the coiling core and train the lat, but I have WEC methodized, or I have added this coiling core principle to all of my training so that I no longer press overhead in this fashion, I press overhead in this fashion. Everything that I do is now a rotational form of training. Earlier on, I said I don't really do rotational training in the gym because everything I do is now rotational in that I am tapped into my lats and I let my core coil and be more athletic, okay? So we had rope training, I explained the coiling core. Now let's talk about pulsing, okay? And again, these are more novel concepts, but this for me is athleticism, and this is something that I work through with golfers to make them more athletic. Because again, the people, the athletes who hit the ball and move the ball at a high rate of speed, you think about your Dustin Johnsons, your Tony Finau's, your Cameron Champs, they're great athletes, okay? I love the story I heard from TPI about when Mike Trout came into town. His first shot, or within 5 shots, he was at 200 miles an hour of ball speed, or close to it. Why is he able to do that? Because he had a perfect swing? Far from it, the ball went, like this. But because he's a great athlete. So my goal in training a golfer is not necessarily to get them stronger, although hopefully they do become stronger. It's not necessarily to get them more powerful, although that is important, but it's to make them a better athlete, to get them to move more efficiently, because when they do that, they will be stronger and will be more powerful, okay? Pulsing is part of this, and pulsing is a key in helping me to teach the athlete to use the ground efficiently. Okay, so again, traditional running model, we swing the arms. When we run head over foot, when we run with a coiling core, we want to engage with the ground by pulsing into the ground because we want every step and every stride to be stronger, more powerful, and longer. So a quick look into what pulsing is this movement here. Okay, we're throwing much more force into the ground with every stride, okay? So the last thing I will note on, and again, I've got resources throughout my Instagram, Facebook on pulsing. You can check out WEC Method. Last one I'll mention is throwing, okay? I don't know how many world long drive champions were throwing athletes, but it's a lot, okay? Carl Walter was a world-class javelin thrower. Tim Burke, pitcher, University of Miami. Myself in the Toronto Blue Jays organization. Jeff Flagg, he was with the Mets. I could go on and on and on. There is a strong correlation between throwing and being able to hit the golf ball a long way, okay? It's proven in World Long Drive. I'm sure you know a lot of pitchers who can crank it. The sequencing is very similar, and in the golf swing, you'll often hear people as a power source talk about how they feel like they throw the club head through impact. So throwing is also one of these unique things, in addition to rope training and pulsing, that I will do with people, because if I get them to be better throwers, that's teaching them to sequence their body correctly. Sequencing is so important, like we talked about, and some of these tools from the Twitch trainer to the ropes to the super speed to the Mach 3 are teaching us to sequence the body correctly and fire out front. Throwing, whether it's a football or a baseball or weighted balls, is teaching us that same thing. My personal preference is the football. I think it's a little bit safer for all of my athletes. It reduces the chance of shoulder injuries and elbow injuries, but I will have my athletes throw. Okay, so we're doing the rope training. We're working sprinting through coiling core and head over foot movement. We're working the pulsing and we're working the throwing. And when we do that, we combine it together, we're becoming and we're making better athletes. Okay, so I hope that helps. You have questions, let me know. Remember, we've got some drivers to give away. So comment on why you should get one of these bad boys, or maybe one of your friends should get one of them. Leave some creative comments. I want you to tag someone, and then obviously follow me, Facebook, Instagram, wherever this goes out.